She was carefully making coffee at the dining table, when the master of the house slid his foot under her skirt. Startled, she dropped the utensils in her hands. But instead of blaming her husband, the mistress scolded Nelly for being improper. The mistress gave her no chance to explain and threw her out without mercy, not even paying her wages. Nelly clung desperately to the doorframe, but her small frame was no match for the two of them. She glared bitterly at the mistress's smug face, before picking up her suitcase and walking into the unknown with her head held high. Homeless, she wandered the streets, and by nightfall spent her last 2 coins on a piece of bread. But just as she took a bite, a beggar woman and her daughter happened to pass by. Seeing the little girl's hopeful eyes fixed on her bread, Nelly didn't hesitate and gave it to her. After struggling through the night, penniless, she found herself back on a familiar street, the street of prostitutes. A woman in a red dress sneered at her and said, "Couldn't stay away, huh?" Nelly whispered that she was just passing by, though she didn't admit she was coming back to her old trade. The woman just smiled knowingly. Soon a man followed Nelly into a dark corner and grabbed her arm. To survive in this cruel world, Nelly had no choice but to sell herself again. But the little she earned was barely enough to eat, let alone pay rent. For days, like so many others without a home, she slept in the public arcade. One day an older woman came over and rudely declared it her spot. When Nelly didn't move, the woman yanked at her, and even kicked aside the book she was reading. Frightened, Nelly quickly checked if the book was damaged, but another woman picked it up first. She seemed to recognize what Nelly did for a living. The woman asked if the book was a gift from a man, but Nelly replied sadly, saying it was her mother's keepsake. The woman told her there was no future here, and invited her to join the Red Cross as a stretcher bearer or assistant. Determined never to starve again, Nelly agreed without hesitation. She had never imagined that besides being a maid or a prostitute, she could make a living doing honest work. Alongside men, she began tending to the wounded on the battlefield. Though carrying stretchers was exhausting, she found physical labor far better than having her dignity trampled.